Okay, so I'm just started to record now, and it's my first live streaming attempt. I'm a couple of minutes early. I've tried to let a few people know that I'm starting at 3 o'clock. I'm going to turn the camera around to show you where I'm painting from, my backyard, next to the greenhouse, which is actually collapsing from the last storm. But anyway, that's another story. So, yeah, this is my backyard where I do my artistic work, and so we have a cottage at the back here also where we have air bed and breakfast, lower hut. Okay, so I'm just fiddling around with some of the dials now. I'm not quite sure. I'm going to turn it around to suggest it. And this is my easel where I'm going to be painting, and see who comes on. So I'm just going to invite a few people. Stupid thumb in the way was. Okay, so I've been painting for a number of years now. It's a way of relaxing after losing my job. So I'll put the camera back on the stand so you can see me. Let's see how we go. Okay, so that's my makeshift stand. This is Paul, son of John. I'm not sure whether you can see me very well. Hopefully there'll be a few people coming on. And I'm going to be attempting this painting I've started a couple of weeks ago. Now it's dry, but it hasn't got any mountains, as you can see, and it's just a little bit of landscape. The colours I've chosen I'm quite happy with, but I'm going to make it a bit more dynamic by putting in a backdrop of mountains, and then I can put in a reflection on the water, which will bring the painting to life a bit more. Coming back around to the front, and I'll see if I can turn the camera around so you get more of an idea of what I'm trying to do. Alright, so there we have the landscape, and I might as well make a start because it's nearly gone 3 o'clock. I was going to be doing this on Sunday, but it's going to be raining on Sunday, so I'm going to try and do a weekly artistic presentation of my work, and hopefully we'll get some feedback and get people into being a bit more creative. So the whole thing for me is that I'm doing this to create my own world, and it relieves a lot of stress, and I can actually feel a lot freer and relaxed after my sessions. They normally last about an hour, and I'll make a start now on putting the mountains in. Okay, you're quite far away. I'm not quite sure how much you can see of that, but I'll make a start now, and I'll bring the camera up a little bit closer. So I'm going to blue, dark blue, and yellow, which will complement into creating a greenish colour, and then I'm going to be using red a little bit for the sky. So I'm going to start off first with a bit of black, putting it on the scalpel knife, and coming up to the painting and just being a bit avant-garde and putting a couple of mountains in there willy-nilly, and it will eventually look like a mountain once I use my imagination a bit. It's quite easy to do once you get the knack of it, and it's a bit like taking risks a little bit and exploring the canvas a little bit, and you can't make mistakes, and if you do, it's easy to correct. Then we have all of the mountains landscape already forming. And now, because it's all about light and the illusion of the paint creating a shadow, I'm going to put a little bit of snow on the mountain. And it looks quite quickly, quite effective, because I'm using the white, and I put the blue, which was already on the knife, is creating a bluish tinge in the snow. There we have it, already looking quite spectacular without too much effort. I must say, I'm finding it easier after a couple of years of doing this. Initially it wasn't so easy, but I can highly recommend practice makes perfect, and it's lovely maybe just to wait till it dries in a couple of days, might even take a week, and then have another go at looking at what we can do with the reflection in the water, because obviously the mountains are going to be reflecting here in the water, and so we'll do a bit of a water's edge. Which makes it much easier to establish the reflection in the water once we know where we're. Cool. All right, so I'm going to make this quite a short presentation today, because I'm not quite sure how it's going to pan out, and we are recording. And I don't see as many people coming in at the moment, so that's another thing we have to work on. So I'm going to now take the fan brush. It's called a fan brush for obvious reasons. Looks like a fan. Okay, and I need a little bit of oil to make it a little bit more easy, because the reflection is only going to be created when you have a little bit of a flurry in this direction, and then the action crossways. Hopefully it's going to inspire some people to think, oh, I can do that, looks pretty simple. Paul can do it, anybody can do it. Well, you're not far wrong, actually. It's, I'm already, oh yeah, the other thing, it's quite important to create the illusion of mist, and so it's a little bit of dark and mist coming up into the mountains from the lake edge. And it's just easy, just dab the fan brush onto the canvas. Today I'm working with canvas. Sometimes I work with wood. Here I've got a 3-ply piece of wood, and that's what I've created from working on wood. It's much easier to work with oils on wood because it slides across easier. It makes more of a illusion of water on wood. It's quite difficult with the canvas because the canvas holds the paint. And I like working with both, actually, but since coming across a few other painters, I'm getting more of a feeling of what I can do. Just moving it across down the mountain, it'll also make it a little bit more interesting. So already the landscape's looking a little bit more like a landscape, because I've got the misty feeling, and move that down a bit. Okay, the trick is not to overdo it. Stand back and just maybe wait an hour or two and come back at it. Don't try and do too much at once. So I've got to make that water a little bit darker because of the mountains, because it's the shadow I'm trying to curate into the water from the top, and also using the principle of like above is like below, and quite a deep message in that, because obviously the more you connect with the higher principles, and then it'll actually work further down in the lower spheres of one's being. So I work very much philosophically in the painting, that it's quite therapeutic for me, particularly after the trauma and the stress that I've experienced after the COVID shemozzle and disaster, of how it's ruined people's lives, and still not perfect by any means. In fact, those who started are still feeling like they've got control, and we need to step up and take authority over one's life, and don't let yourself be pushed around by the bullies that are working in these corporations and governments. You think they know what they're doing, but in fact they're destroying the planet and also us as a civilization. Anyway, that's enough for now. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye for now.